If you ask someone who's the weakest brawler in the entire game, there are going to be two answers. One is Hank and the other one is Doug. Let's say that I'm more of a Doug person. This doesn't mean that I prefer Doug, this means that I hate more Doug. Doug is currently the worst brawler in the entire game, and these, in my opinion, are the reasons. Every support in the entire game has their own purposes. Let's say that Poco is there for healing, together with Pam, but Pam is more of a zone control type of healing, while, for example, Byron and Gus are more of a sniper type of supports, while Doug is more of a I don't know, maybe, yeah, you guessed it, he's more of a tank. With a 10,000 HP, we've got a healer. So this is actually sounds pretty awesome, right? Oh my god, he has 10,000 HP, this means that it's not that easy to take down, and it can also tank in case the tank itself is weak. Kinda. So the biggest problem with Doug is of course its range, it's not that hard to understand. His movement speed is fast. This is of course something great. Imagine having a fast thing coming towards you, like imagine a Max giving the speed to this dude running into you with a hot dog in his hand. It doesn't sound that scary, but believe me, it's scary. Let's look at his main kit and try to understand why this brawler is the weakest in the entire game. For instance, Doug has 10,000 health at level 11 and has a fast movement speed. I don't remember the amount of time that... No, I don't remember the amount of damage that he deals, but I will show you on the screen the amount of damage that it deals at level 11, and yeah, I can show nothing about the super. There's nothing to show there. I'm pretty sure we all know what the super does, but in case you don't know, it can revive you, or one of your teammates, it depends on who you throw the super to. Pretty much like Gus, if you auto-aim your super, it will land on you and it will revive you. But if you use the aiming button, it will aim towards the ally that you're aiming to, and it will revive them. Is this a broken mechanic? Yes, it is. I'm pretty sure Supercell is aware of this, and this is the reason why it doesn't even... Let's say they don't want to buff Doug too much, because there isn't a reason to buff a Doug. Imagine if they buff too much Doug for accident, and we are going to have a Doug apocalypse. Imagine dudes with hot dogs reviving itself. It's not a good image to do. Sorry because I'm yapping too much today, but I actually don't know what to talk about Doug right now. Let's talk about his main kit again, but this time how would you like to use it in a match? As a healer, you most likely want to heal your allies and use your super on the ally itself. Anyways, this brawler is an F tier, so it's of course harder to have value out of this brawler than other healers like Poco. The reason is simple: the range and the supercharge. So the supercharge isn't that slow actually, only 5 hits to recharge a super. The movement of the brawler itself is fast, and this of course makes him really good in some situations. If you give this guy a speed gear, I'm pretty sure this guy is going to be broken. But on low trophies and low elo. If you're at high elo or high trophies, you're not only you, also your enemies know how to counter a Doug, and that is pretty simple. Don't make him recharge his super. Easy, right? With only 5 hits requiring, it's not going to be an easy task. But also for Doug, it's going to be very hard to cycle through supers. Let's talk about the star powers, gadgets and gears that you would most likely want to use on This guy. The damage gadget is absolutely needed for Doug. Also because the healing gadget is very bad. Like, it's almost useless. Use the gadget one, it's very, let's say, fundamental for Doug. For star powers, the one that heals you is, of course, the better star power because the other one pretty much, yeah, you guessed it. For gears, as a non-pro player, I would recommend you using speed and shield. Shield is going to, be pretty controversial, and like I said, I'm not a pro player. The way that I think is that while you're trying to close the distance between you and the enemy, you're going to get a ton of hits. So I feel like having a shield is almost always better than having anything else. But like I said, I'm not a pro player, and if you're a really good, let's say, a real good player, you can leave the, you know, you can share your own opinion on the comment section. I've shared mine. It's your turn. So I got a rework idea for Doug, and I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't know if this is going to lead another apocalypse or not. I hope not. But yeah, here's what I think that would fix Doug. It's a pretty common, way of thinking, and that is to give him the support trait that Barry has. That trait is very needed for Doug. And yeah, just give that support trait to him, please. He needs it. Subscribe and use code Jimbo.